welcome to the Capital Discussions Roundtable. I'm Tom Nonamaker with our guest, Andy Jordan. Before we get started, quick disclaimer, the Capital Discussions is not a broker-dealer or an investment advisor. This presentation is for educational purposes only. We don't know your situation and have no way of knowing what level of risk is appropriate for you. We're not making any specific trade recommendations. The risk of loss in trading options can be substantial. Please be aware of all of your risks trades. Simulated trades are believed to be accurately represented. However, actual profit or loss due to market factors such as commissions. Again, this is for educational purposes only. And with that, while I'm presenter to you, welcome, Andy. We actually met through Joe Ross years ago. I did some private mentoring with Joe when he was in Germany, and then Joe, myself, and our wives went to Munich, did some seminars, and I think you wandered in a couple of days. And back probably, geez. So it's a pleasure to reconnect. And, the floor is yours, and maybe just people who don't know who you are, maybe just introduction.
Okay, Tom, thanks a lot. What I'm doing now is it's pretty much a presentation I always hold for beginning traders. But before you leave right now and say, well, I'm not a beginning trader, I'm already professional, maybe you find a couple of points interesting because maybe you are already successful, but you have never thought about it. Why are you so successful, and why does trading works for you, and why does it not work so well, and well, actually for most other peoples. So I also want to say I'm very sorry coming late. I had the idea that we are going to meet after the markets are closed at 4:30 Chicago time. And, well, unfortunately, it was 4:30 Eastern time. And I'm right now here in the Dominican Republic, so it's already 5:30 here. So I'm dealing with different time zones, also with the German time zone when I'm calling to my parents. So I'm very sorry. We are starting late. I will go through the presentation, Tom, and at the end we can do something like a question and answer if this is okay for you guys. So let me start. Well, you already showed the disclaimer. I don't have to show it. Short introduction about myself. My name is Andy Jordan. I'm German. I turned 50 this year. I'm living in Santiago, Dominican Republic. Actually, most of the time in Germany, I live, well, maybe 2-3 months per year. My parents live there, and of course, I have to take care about my parents, and I go there whenever I have time. But my wife here in the Dominican Republic, she's Dominican. She has let's say, a normal job, and not such a crazy job I have, where you can travel around the world and all you need is an internet connection. Well, that's the reason why when I just spend a couple of months a year. Well, already said, I'm married. I actually studied mathematics and business administration. I've been trading since '98, and I met Joe, well, a long time ago, a really long time ago. In 2002, I started actually with a private tutoring. I flew to Austin, I met him, and slowly, well, we turned the business relationship into a friendship. And after working for him, together with him for 13 years, it's a very close relationship. It's like almost like family. I'm trading mainly in, no, that's not true. I'm not trading mainly. I'm only trading in the futures. I'm trading spreads. I'm also trading options when I trade options. I'm, well, 95% an option seller. And I do my own swing day trading. It's some kind of a mixture going into the market or into the trade on a smaller time frame and then trying to let the trade run. Well, I'm a trader, trading coach, and the editor of Trader's Notebook. Trader's Notebook is our daily newsletters. It's about spreads and options. So in this webinar, I want to, as I said, it's normally I prefer to do that webinar for beginning traders because I think that most beginning traders are focusing, especially when they start with trading, on the wrong topics. Everyone is always looking for the best chart formation, that's the highest success rate, and so on. And in my opinion, that's actually the wrong place to look at. There are much more important things when it comes to trading. And first of all, I'll try to answer the question, why actually do so many traders fail to make money in the markets? As we all know, statistics are not really in our favor. Well, statistics talk about that 80–90% of traders fail. When it comes to day trading, the numbers are even higher. Though there must be a reason why most of people are not making any money in the markets. Well, next question I try to answer is how can someone avoid losing money trading, and especially at the beginning? The next question we try to answer is what actually makes a successful trader? Is there a specific knowledge they have? Do you have to study mathematics, for example? I can tell you that's not the case. So what makes a successful trader, we will try to answer. When we found out what makes a successful trader, it would be, of course, interesting to know what are the right steps to becoming a winning trader. And, well, please allow me a little bit of marketing. Where can trading educators actually help you on your journey to become successful? So, first of all, let's try to find out why so many traders fail to make money in the markets. And in my opinion, first of all, it's a problem of the trading education. So it's coming from this industry where I'm also working with all these tons of email. You probably are getting the same emails every day telling you can buy the Holy Grail system for $999, and then they tell you out of 5,000 you can easily make 50,000 in just a year. Well, these kinds of emails and information we are getting all the time, and of course we know that's just crap. Next is, well, most beginning traders believe that trading is easy to learn. I think it's not the case. I personally think it's very, very difficult, especially, well, once again, because of the first point, because trading education is not really good, because we have a lot of black sheeps in this industry. Next is, well, wrong expectations. When you hear all the time in internet, it's easy to become a trader and you start with 10,000 and in just a year you are making a million or $500,000. Well, we all know, especially the ones already in the trading business for a couple of years, that's not the case. Well, limited trading capital is definitely a huge, huge problem. I can see that all the time, and especially in my area of trading education, where I'm focused on futures trading, on future options, future spreads, I can see that it just does not make any sense to open a future account with $5,000 or $10,000 and then believing you can make a living with this amount of money. And I can tell you, I'm getting these emails all the time. Andy, I want to quit my job. I have $50,000. Can I make a living? Well, it's I wish I could tell you, but I would say there are just little chances you can make it because, well, learning needs some time and trading needs capital, especially with futures. Of course, that's different when it comes to stock options trading. Then you can start with a smaller account, but future trading is quite expensive in terms of risk. Well, the next problem is, of course, insufficient experience. When I started trading, I read a book, or maybe 2 books. I got an interactive broker account at that time. I think it was eSignal I got, and during the first 2 weeks I lost $5,000 or $6,000, and I found out, well, maybe I do not have enough experience yet, and trading is a little bit more complicated, and it needs more than just reading 1 or 2 books. Not enough mental and emotional preparation. I think that's really one of the key points that's especially making the difference between I do not want to even say losing trader. I would say between a trader who already made it up to somehow break-even trader, but and to the really professional traders. The mental and emotional preparation is very, very important. So, well, how can someone avoid losing money, especially at the beginning? Well, first of all, you professional guys, you already know it, and well, I don't know, Tom, if we also have beginning traders here, but
yeah, we have a few.
We have a few. Okay. So at least for the beginning trader, I really try to give very honest advices here. It's quite different probably to what you're normally listen to. So, well, first of all, if you do not want to lose much money on the beginning, take your time. Don't think you can learn trading just by going to a seminar over the weekend or reading 2 or 3 books or buying in a webinar or whatever. It really takes time. Statistics say it takes time between 3 and 5 years. I think that's true. I think that's a good number. Why does it take so long? It usually takes so long because very often at the beginning you're just on the wrong path. A lot of traders start, for example, with day trading because they think they can start day trading with less money, which is true, but they do not really understand that day trading should actually be the last way of trading on your journey, because it's very intense trading, very, very difficult to do, emotionally, mentally, very, very difficult, and so a lot of traders start at the wrong point. They are going into the wrong direction for a couple of years. That's why we talk between 3 and 5 years. Well, that's important. What's the merit of all offers regarding the trading business? I don't know if people really buy this kind of stuff on the internet where it says, well, this is the perfect trading software. It will tell you the market will go up and go down. It tells you everything about the entry and the exits, and you will make a tons of money. I don't know. It seems that people are buying that stuff. Otherwise, they would not promote it so heavily on the internet. So really try to figure out good resources. Not easy on the beginning, I know. But whenever it sounds too good, it's usually not true. Read material from credible sources. Also very difficult. At the beginning, you very often just don't know. There are many good books. There are a lot of books which are not worth the money, not worth reading. Something I always liked, something that's kind of, well, beginning traders do not really understand why reading such a book makes sense, are the book from Jack Schwager, Market Wizards. He wrote a couple of books interviewing successful traders. And when you start reading these books, you're not going to find out any secret way of trading. You're not going to find out any super duper chart formation and so on. But you can read between the lines and you can find out that's not so important when it comes to trading. There are other important parts of trading, and that's why I think these books are a very good read. Well, that's of course an important point here. Get information from real traders. That's also a little bit kind of tricky, of course, because on the forum or on many forums, you just do not know if you are really talking to a real trader. You do not know the track record and so on. But try to go on forums where you get the feeling that people are really trading, well, try to get information from these guys about books, about courses, about stuff that's interesting and that's helping you on your journey. It would be good seeking in a mentor, someone with experience in trading and not experiencing in education or in marketing. So someone from the trading industry would be good and would be helpful, of course. I know that's something other traders will tell you differently, but I tell you practice with simulated programs before starting with real money. When it comes to option trading, that's difficult because option markets are not as liquid as, for example, when you trade a mini S&P or when you trade crude oil or whatever. So I'm talking a little bit more about day trading, spread trading, directional trading, futures trading. When you think you found out something that's really work, an entry strategy with the right money management, with the right trade management and so on, then you will probably do some back testing first, but you also have to do some forward testing. And with a good simulator, you are getting very, very close, and you can find out, will it actually work, what I've seen in the past, will it really work for me? And a simulated trader, of course, cannot replace real trading, but I can promise you, as long as you're not able to make money with the simulated program, don't think you are going to make money in real trading. It's the other way around. You can make money with a simulator, but you're still not making money with real trading. That's true. Though from simulated to real trading, it's the next step. But at least you can do some testing with the simulator before you start with trading with real money. So what makes a successful trader? Well, all are trading with an edge. And, well, believe it or not, there are many edges in the market, and there are different edges you can work with. You can trade against the market with an well, some kind of reversal strategy or whatever. You can trade breakouts. You can try to trade trends. You can trade seasonalities. You can trade where you have a statistical edge, selling far out of the money options, for example, and so on. There are edges, and of course you will have to find an edge for yourself. And unfortunately, you really have to find an edge that's making sense for you. So successful traders definitely are trading with an edge. Otherwise, they would not make any money. They are trading their own personality. That's an important point, and that's actually one of the points why I think that trading or learning how to trade takes so long at the beginning, because most people do not really know their own personality. They start with day trading, then they find out, well, that's actually too much stress. I'm making $1,000 a week, and then I screw up completely, and I give back 5,000 in just 10 minutes. So you really have to find the way of trading that fits you as a person. There is no other way. You can, of course, start looking at other traders, doing some copying them, getting ideas about different trading methods, and then trying to work out a way that's working for you. But at the end, you have to find your own way of trading. Traders work hard. I don't think trading is a business where you can get everything for free or very easily. Well, working on the basics, working on how the markets work, on money management, risk management, everything, it's not a big deal, but working on themselves is a critical point. That's actually not very easy, because we have to be very honest to ourselves. They understand money and risk management. Well, as I said, when you find the time, now is Christmas, try to get the book from Jack Schwager. Try to get the last one, actually. The last one he wrote, it's the smallest one, and it's somehow a compilation of all the other books. And when you have read the last book of Schwager, then you can look into the other one. So the last one is, in my opinion, actually the best starting point. And, well, when you read it, almost everyone is telling you one of the key points is money and risk management. You do not have to overdo it on money and risk management. There are very easy ways of how to manage, or how to manage your risk, and how to manage your money. So you do not have to go into very complicated statistics and formulas and mathematical stuff. Keep it simple, but you have to get into that topic, and you have to do that at the beginning of your trading career, and not when you screwed up the first $10,000 or $20,000. Successful traders, they all trade with a plan, and they trade with discipline. You can also hear that over and over and over again, that you just cannot start in the morning thinking, well, let me see what I get here on the chart, start buying, stop selling. You really have to have a plan. Otherwise, together with the emotions involved with making money, and of course with losing money, you probably will screw up on the long run. And of course, you need the discipline to do what is in your plan, actually, and to get the discipline to do what is in your plan, you need your own trading personality. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard with discipline trading something that you actually do not really believe in. They understand that losing is part of the trading experience. When you, I don't know, maybe some of you guys have started doing some money management for other people, and when you interview or when you get together with these people, you will probably always hear, how much money can I make? How much percentage? If we go higher with the risk, will I make more? So people just do not want to hear about the losing part. And that's also true at the beginning when you start trading, and with some ways of trading, position trading, for example, you will probably lose more than 50% of the time, or even at a higher percentage. It's possible that you're losing or just making a little or losing a little. And you're making, in position trading, the good trades maybe just come around in 10 or 20%. So losing is really part of the trading, and you have to get used to it. They trade with absolute confidence, and that's what brings the different points together. They trade with absolute confidence. They can do that, of course, only because they trade their own personality. But they really believe in what they are doing. And that's why, for these guys, it's possible to trade with absolute discipline and following their plan. They trade with patience, also important point. Very often traders will do better when they reduce their trading activities. Very often traders are simply trading all kinds of different signals, or losing the patience when the signals are not showing up, and then they think, well, I just will buy here because it's looking good. It's not my entry signal yet, but it's looking good. Well, it's probably not going to work on the long run. And I can tell you, I'm sitting in front of the computer every day for 4 hours. I have my markets on my screen, and very often I'm not placing a single trade, and that's of course very frustrating. So it's even hard for me just watching the markets and nothing happens, or even worse, a lot of stuff happens but without me. So that's kind of difficult. Successful traders, they understand the emotions of trading, and they are mentally prepared. When you start trading, as I said, with a trading platform, with a simulator, you can get, if you do it right and if you do it intense, you can get some kind of kick, and you can get the kind of understanding what's going on. But of course, the real emotions are coming when you start trading with real money. So that's why there is no other way than one day you have to start trading with real money. And last but not least, of course, they love what they do. They do not love to make money. They love what they do. And I think that's very different. If you think, well, trading is just because you want to make money, but you actually don't like it, you better look at a different place. There are other places I think it's easier to make money than with trading. With trading, you really have to love the trading game and not only making money. Well, what are the steps in becoming a winning trader? Of course, we have talked already about these different points. You have to find an edge. As I already said, you can find different edges. You can find a lot of these things in the internet. I do not want to get into detail because it's would be a little bit, well, too much for this webinar. You have to find a way of trading that fits your personality. You have to play around a little bit. You have try to read about all different strategies. Don't think that when you start with options, for example, then you have to stick only to options. get a wider view, try to figure out about futures, try to find out about stocks, try to find out about spreads, try to find out swing day trading, and then try to figure out what way of trading you like best or makes the most sense. You will probably find out that you're going to switch a couple of times at the beginning. Well, it's a kind of a learning process, but try to be open to different ways of trading. Well, you have to work hard, read, learn, practice. You have to understand money and risk management. As I said, you do not have to study mathematics for that. There are very basic rules and basic things that are just fine. But do yourself a favor, learn it. Don't wait and say, well, I will do that a little bit later. It's kind of boring. First, I want to go into the best indicator or chart formation or whatever. Money and risk management is much more important. You need a trading plan. You have to work out a trading plan. And you have to follow the plan with discipline. So write it down. That's the best way. Don't think that, well, I'm just using Joe's entry technique, 1, 2, 3 highs and lows and hooks and ledges and that's it, and then I'm going to make money. Nah, unfortunately, that's not the case. These kind of chart formations are just formations, nothing more, nothing less. It depends what you build around it. Where is your first target? Where is your stop? Will you be able to get out money from a couple of trades more than you actually are risking, and so on. So you have to play around with a plan that's making sense to you, and you need definitely a written plan. You have to understand that losing is part of the trading. You have to be mentally prepared. You need absolute confidence in what you do. That's a little bit difficult, especially on the beginning. How can you be confident in what you do when you're starting? That's tricky, definitely. Use a simulator once again. I know it's difficult when it comes to options. It's not as easy. But for all other way of trading, use a simulator and try to get more confident with your trading plan when you do some real simulated trades, and try to gain confidence. Understand that you don't have to trade all the time. Well, for example, I'm not trading whenever we get some kind of announcement from the Fed. I'm just taking these days off because usually there's nothing going on in the morning. Everyone is waiting until the Fed tells something, and then you get a lot of movement for 5 or 10 minutes. Market is getting completely crazy very often, and then once again nothing happens. So on these days I simply not trade, as an example, and I also very often try to avoid trading in front of holidays, and so we do not have to trade all the time. You have to understand your emotions while trading and how to control them, and that's, in my opinion, the holy, well, the closest you can get to the holy grail in trading is really to understand your emotions and how to control them. It sounds easy on the beginning, especially for the traders just starting with the trading business. But believe me, that's much harder than you think. And of course, love what you do. So now a little bit of marketing. What can trading educators do to help you? Well, we have a lot of stuff. We even have chose 1, 2, 3 formation, Ross hooks, ledges, all these things for a free download. Just go there and get this kind of information. By the way, we are getting a new website in hopefully a couple of weeks. and we will have some kind of free membership on our new website, where we try to post charts, some videos, some articles, interesting stuff, and together with a forum. You can contact us with questions. Of course, it's free. It's really free. We have a wide selection of books, which I always think it's a good starting point. Why should you, well, pay $1,500, for example, for mentoring when you already found out with the book that you do not like this way of trading? So I think book is always a good starting point. We have experts with different trading styles in different markets. For example, I am the ones for futures. I do not know much about stocks. Futures, I'm the one. We have webinars, mentorships. We can also help with the technical side, software recommendation. Well, of course, we can only recommend the stuff we use for ourselves. I know that there are, I do not want to say 100 of different software and charting programs, but at least 20, 30, 40, 50, something like that. And a lot of them are definitely really, really good. So, but at least we can give you some kind of idea where to start with. We can offer you a broker referral if you're interested. We have two trading system performing actually pretty well, called Ambush and Stealth. Ambush is counter trading and Stealth is breakout. So both are actually trading in different market conditions, and the combination of both is quite interesting. We offer sound and truthful advice regarding trading. So when you talk to us, you will probably not find us telling that, well, with one of our methods, you can start with a $10,000 account or making hundreds and thousands of dollars. That's not true. You need money for a trading system. You need, I don't know if it's a lot of money, but at least some money. Otherwise, it's not making any sense. All right, that's pretty much it. Trader's Notebook subscription offer. Well, it was good until October 31, as you can see. That's unfortunately that's the last one.
Actually, that slide is all black except a little bit of German to click here.
All right, so I will go back. I will go back to the first slide. So here we go.
There we go.
All right.
So I don't see any questions. How are you looking at the markets these days? I know there's been quite a bit of volatility. How has that affected the way you're?
Hold on. As you can see, I'm clicking around, and unfortunately, always these kinds of I cannot get any information from the participant, Tom. I don't know, this second window that's actually pops up in front of the browser is always gone as soon as I start with the presentation. So I don't know if you see any question. Please let me know. All right.
Definitely. There aren't any questions yet, which is why I asked you.
Okay. 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 Well. Honestly, 2015 was a very, very difficult market for me, for us. My own trading is pretty much, as I said, it's rather straightforward. It's not very complicated. I really love easy ways of trading. I always make it as simple as possible. Let me just get this one. All right. And but I'm also trading the the trading systems we have for a Swiss company that's managing some money for other people, and it's very, very difficult because, well, markets are not going anywhere, or many markets are not going anywhere. When you think, well, finally the market broke out and it starts to move, then after 2 days, well, the party is already over and the market is coming back down. So very difficult environment. I can somehow, well, I'm somehow happy with my way of short-term trading because it really is focusing on moves of 1 or 2 days. But as you could see, I'm also a spread trader, and spread trading was not doing very well in 2015. So I do not know how you guys do with options. With options in Trader's Notebook, we were doing much better because, well, fortunately, option is one of the ways where you can also participate and make money when the market is not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think most people in our community are sellers of options, so they're happy when the market's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and well, that's very, very hard when you trade spreads, when you trade positions, when you try to trade trends and so on. You need markets which are going somewhere, at least for a couple of days or maybe for a week. And in this environment, I think, well, options is really a good place to be. Selling stranglers, for example, selling 4 out of naked options spreads or whatever. But with option, at least you can participate with different strategies with these kinds of markets which are not going anywhere. I think that's going to change. I honestly believe that we will one day see that they are, well, getting up with the interest rates in the US. And I can imagine then we are getting volatility into the markets and hopefully markets moving a little bit more into some of the direction up or down or whatever. It doesn't matter to me, actually. I just want them to move. But right now, well, most markets are not going anywhere.
So there's a question, is it more of a day trading market right now? And from what you're saying, probably the answer is not really.
It actually is, in my opinion, because you get from time to time, you get a crazy movement, and you get these crazy movement in different markets. So the problem is that if you want to do some kind of swing trading or position trading or whatever, these kinds of moves do not last enough to trade them just on a daily basis. And that's why what I'm doing is, it's quite simple. I'm actually trying to figure out on the daily chart, getting an idea where the market might move on the next day, and not even where the market might move. If it's moving my way, is there a chance I'm getting a lot of action? And you can see that on the daily chart. And then I try to use 30 and 50-minute charts getting into the market. And quite often you get very nice moves day trading on the day trading basis. But very often the move on the next day is already over. Though I think day trading is actually a good place to be right now, but, well, we always have to fight the day trading problems, and that's day trading is very intense, emotionally very intense. People have to be very, very disciplined. So it's a tough job. It's really difficult, and you have to have the time to sit in front of the computer. I think it's just not true that you're just sitting for 10 minutes or half an hour every day, and you think you make some money. So you probably have to sit a few hours before the screen. You have to prepare everything, though. It's really a full-time job when it comes to trading, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it depends on what time frame you're looking at. One of my friends, 3-tick chart, and it's just like a car moving screen. It's just great. But
yeah,
yeah,
of course it depends, and it depends. Are you trying to scalp or whatever? So if we talk about day trading, we have so many different techniques on day trading, and it goes from as you said, it goes from tick chart to 2-hour chart. So it depends.
Well, I don't see any more questions, so really appreciate you coming on, Andy. Sorry about the time zone confusion, but
no, I'm so sorry. I completely screwed up. First, I screwed up with the presentation, but maybe even the professionals did like the presentation because they can find themselves in a couple of these points I mentioned, or maybe some of your successful option trader never thought about it, and it hopefully helps the ones starting with the trading business, and it hopefully helps them not trying always to focus on chart formation, on the best indicator of the world and stuff like that. Maybe I could change a little bit of their idea what trading is all about.
Absolutely. It's always good to go over the basics again.
Yeah.
As you gain experience, you start picking up things that you missed before. So, again, really appreciate it. We can get you back on later to talk about the 1-2-3s or Ross hooks or, that kind of stuff, and
sure.
give people tools for their directional toolbox.
All right. Let's do that.
Okay, so I think, like I said, no more questions. Thanks, Andy, and we'll wrap it up, and we'll see everybody next time.
All right. If somebody has any question, just get in contact with me. And thank you very much for having me here. Have a nice evening, Tom. You are in Germany. It's already midnight or getting close to midnight.
Close, yep.
So have a good night.
Wrap it up, yep.
And, well, hopefully, well, I can be around soon. All right. Take care, guys.
Great. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.